Welcome to another interesting home economics class. Today we'll be discussing the topic meal planning. And what are we looking at under meal planning? We have the meaning of meal planning, the meaning of menu, factors that influences meal planning, guidelines for meal planning, and the procedures for meal planning. Now, what is meal planning? Any idea? Okay, meal planning involves choosing a menu or a list of food that will be included in a meal. Meal planning is also the process of deciding in advance what you will eat for a certain period of time. It will be a day, a week, or so. Alright, now let's take a look at menu. Menu refers to a list of dishes that are planned and prepared for a particular meal or occasion. Remember, a well-planned meal should contain all the essential food nutrients. Now, let's take a look at the factors that influences meal planning. The following factors will influence meal planning. The first factor is family size. The size of the family will determine the quantity of meal to plan for. For instance, it would be unwise to plan for 3 persons instead of 5 persons in the house, meaning the remaining 2 persons will go hungry. The next factor is age of family members. Age can influence meal planning because the nutritional need of a toddler, of a teenager, of adolescent and elderly one are not the same. Next, we'll be looking at is the health condition of family members. Certain food are not suitable for some certain health condition. For instance, a diabetic patient, hypertensive patient, or overweight person should avoid certain foods that are not beneficial to their health. The next is occupation or the activity of a family member. The work a person does influences his food need. An active person would need more energy-giving food than a less active person. What do I mean? For instance, a laborer will require more energy food than a banker. So it is wise to always take a look at the occupation of the person before planning the meal. The next is what individual taste, meaning like or dislike. This simply talk about what a person likes and dislikes. For instance, not everybody likes to eat onion, pepper, etc. So therefore, the meal planner must try to plan for those dishes which the family members like. The next factor is what family income. Yes. The quality, quantity, or the type of food to plan for depends on the money available. If a family is not rich, they may not be able to afford fresh and nourishing food, but the reverse is the case. Okay, now let's take a look at the guidelines for planning a meal. There are different guidelines for planning a meal. Number 1, the meal planned must contain all the essential food nutrients. Number 2, nutritional needs of the family members must be considered while planning. Number 3, use variety of food in order to avoid monotony, which means repetition. Number 4, use food in season when planning meals for economy and good taste. Number 5, consider the cash at hand. Number 6, plan meal ahead of time to save money and consider the time for each meal before breakfast, lunch, or dinner so that the meal can be served hot. Number 8, Simple, fresh, nutritious and quality good food must be selected for meal. Then finally, serve meal attractively with the right accompaniment for good appetite. This simply means that you can accompany your food with fresh and cold juice. Now, procedures for meal planning. 1. A dish in which animal protein forms the chief part should be included in the 3 main meals of the day. What this means is that you should include fish, meat or egg in your 3 square meal of the day. I can see you all are salivating because of the fish, meat and all. The next, plan the day's meal ahead of what time. You should always plan your meal ahead of time. Don't wait till the time you're about to cook before planning your meal. The next one is select food that is readily available at the time you are planning and that which is suitable for family members. The next one is that the nutritional needs of the family members must be met in the planned meal. Okay, everybody's nutritional needs must be met. Next is select and combine the correct food to build up each of the menus for the meal. Select food for the main course and those of the side dishes. For example, your appetizer and your dessert. Lastly, consider the number of persons, their preference or delivery requirement, which means whether they are at home to eat at the same time. Wow! Now we have come to the end of this lesson. Feel free to ask any questions concerning this topic that you don't understand, and don't forget to attempt the questions on your content pages and quizzes. Till we meet again in our next class, stay safe and remember, hard work pays. Bye.